So we're sitting with Krissy Mac, an amazing top producer, and we are super excited to interview you about your business, what you're doing. We were talking before the interview that last year, your last full year, you closed $10 million. That's an amazing number. But amazingly, which I think is fascinating, is that 33% of your business comes from
open houses.
Open houses. So tell us about, first of all, how did you master the open house? I mean, where did that come from?
It took a little while. When I first came into the business, I was working with a builder who had a model home that was open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 to 4. Wow. So I had to be doing open houses, and I was the only one that could do the open houses.
So you would do those every day?
Every day.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a lot. So when I started into it, the first 6 months, when you're spending that much time in one area, you really need to be getting something out of it.
Sure.
And I realized I'm spending a lot of time and I'm not really getting something out of it. I had a mentor up in Portland that I called and had her come down, which is kind of embarrassing to have somebody analyze you and what you're doing.
So she came down to act as a buyer?
She came down to act as a buyer and just kind of see how I do my open houses, and sat there when other people came in.
Mm-hmm.
And after she was here for a couple of days, she told me I was terrible at open houses. And so I was like, oh, God,
oh, no.
I need to reevaluate. So I changed it up. I also started the Ninja training, which is all, no salesy. You don't push your card in front of people. It's all about the law of attraction. Get people to want you. I don't chase business. I want business to chase me. I want them to be attracted to me. So I started switching up in the open houses and talking to people about their family and what they do for a career, and not necessarily having a sign-in sheet. It's not hard to figure out where people live.
Sure.
You just need to have a conversation where you care about them. And when you do, it's amazing. They ask you, hey, would you mind calling me? Type of thing. So
I thought it
that's
was
pretty
very
much
interesting.
how it
You
is.
said that you were trained not to talk about real estate, which is kind of totally opposite of the way most salespeople are trained, probably.
Yeah, I do not talk about real estate unless they ask. So it's kind of twofold. It's all about personalities too. They have the DISC training, so you have to be able to identify the personality when they come in the door. Because if you have an engineer, they don't want you to talk about anything. They just want you to ask the direct questions. When you have the party person, they want to talk about everything and their parties. So you have to be able to adapt to that, and that's where you bring in the law of attraction. Is now they feel comfortable with you, they'll divulge more. When you throw a guest sign-in sheet at them, you're just like everybody else.
Yeah,
they don't want that.
Right.
And sometimes they give you all their information and sometimes they don't. They just want your card, and they typically will turn around and contact you. But my thing with the open house is, if I'm going to be sitting there, I'm going to get something out of it.
Absolutely. All
you need is one person. One person. You do open house every week for a year. That's 52 people? Everybody buys a house at some point,
right.
So it's really just, for me, that's really grown.
After that first 6 months, you got that training, you got the scripting, and then your business just took off from there.
It went crazy.
Really?
Because my first year, it was just a little over $1 million, and then the second year it was 10, third 10, and this year will be 10.
Wow.
So it's, that's just how I've done it, and now it's kind of flip-flop because I'm not with Polish anymore. They're not in the area. So I have to, if 33% is coming from that amount of time, I need to have myself in open houses somewhere else, because obviously it's the main thing that's pulling me business. Besides, now I'm on almost my 4th year. I'm starting to get that repeat and referral. That you were talking about, lead generated versus referral based, and I've never been lead generated. I mean, yes, from open houses, but that's different than a Zillow lead. For me, that doesn't work because I'm not connecting with the lead versus face-to-face contact.
So when you're doing the open houses, you're talking about the power of product knowledge and statistics. Talk to us about that for a second.
You need to know every single thing about the house. What kind of flooring it is, what kind of heating it is, when it was built, what square footage it is. Every single thing, because they will ask you.
Sure.
And the second you stumble, you've completely lost them. They now have no confidence in you.
Right.
I also think it's important. It sounds silly, but if you're a short person, wear heels. If you're tall, a tall person, wear heels, because you have to be able to dominate the conversation without them knowing you're doing so.
Right. So when you are looking at now you're flipping it, because when you were with a builder, you could kind of memorize product knowledge with that specific builder. Now you're doing just existing different homes.
Mhm.
So is that a little bit more difficult?
It is more difficult
to
because the
learn
builder
product
builds
knowledge.
the same thing all the
Yeah,
time. It's all the
over.
same stuff,
Mhm.
just a different floor plan.
Mhm.
You need to really be engaged and involved with your seller
Mhm.
because they're the ones that are going to tell you everything about the house, which they actually like. Because
Mhm.
interesting enough, a lot of people just come, have them sign the paperwork, and they're out. When
Mhm.
you care about all these little things, it makes them feel more confident in you
That you're gonna get the job
in selling
done.
their house and getting your
Absolutely.
job done.
Right, I love it. You are an amazing top producer. Thank you for all your insights today on open houses and how you do your business. And thanks for having a great interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.